Ago. Obia to me, can we? I just share a deep. Mine can't cheat, Cassa. And I want to go to and yet, Chi Casa, Debbie. Chi Casa. Chi. 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 Chi Casa. Chi Casa. Nidia. Nidia. In some fois. A fofro. My yard, yeah. You wish as 50 and 50. I say, if you say you want the papa to say, it's you. They say, Amara, they say, Kayla, I'm here with that. And then. I said, we have people who haven't gone over some of this, so we want to bring you all up to speed. Into my own call. Ah, 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 oh. Yeah. David, Yantro, that war. And see the Ducano. Ah, ah, ah. It's too big that it's so tiny?
That's tiny. Oh, yeah, that's bigger.
Hey, bigger than that. So big it can cover the whole boy? You sure?
But then it's going to get lighter. Like, I just screwed it back, it got lighter.
Yeah. Abibi mine. Abibi mine. They say, to say, Profocasa, spa. Now, so P, Abibi mine. Abibi mine. Abibi mine. Abibi mine, yeah, dear. No, my idea. B. They say, Profocasa, big. They say, P, a war. A boy, a dear.
I can't see the picture of that boy.
A war.
A rock. Yeah, because I just stopped trying.
What's a bonny? Oh, a bonny. A war. I be there. There's a Profocasa divine. There's a tree or down, Manka, or down. Hey.
Aren't you looking at the pictures?
You can't see the picture, the word next to the last word.
I be there. A. Now, motion so I won't say A. Now, it was the gym, you know. So you see the letter A has two different sounds. The Dicano, A, Serecano. So the first one is A, just as we're saying it. The Tosumiono, A. Manka, E. And see, I walk near Jim, you know, so it has two different sounds. Now, Ushini ya. Ushini ya. Ya share and then you so if you look clearly, you'll see that we marked off the vowels. There is a we. Now, we will say, as soon as we not son of because you'll notice that there's a difference between how the chi is and how English is. Yeah, Dikano, I can't watch some. When you Jim, you know, the Dikano, the Tosum, you know, you can see. To say there be. To say there be. The Dikano, you who say A. Now, for the one you do for you do for and T A war. Now, so you know, you couldn't say so both the A is there, but it also has this sound A. Now, so you know, you couldn't say, but all are written with this same letter. And Tibra would say, Okusie, when you say Citro, Bra who say, Ase, when you say Citro. So anytime you hear any word that has an A sound in it or an A sound in it, I bear away. A baby, I would say, I womb, and I say, I womb, who say, we, like the true. So anytime you have the R sound or the I sound, that is going to be represented by this letter. What I say? And the A to say pray, and I say Okusie. Manka Okusie. More Okusie. Does anyone here eat Okusie? Mundi. And I Mundi now. So you don't eat any kind of meat?
No, I do.
Okusie.
I don't eat rat.
No. Wait, rat? No, definitely not.
Oh.
Eats rat?
No, people eat rat. People eat rat. That's disgusting. They can get rabies.
Nipa bebre Kisie. Me call Mampong. So I went up to Mampong, equipping Mampong. Then we say, and Koramo to say more. Namu to Kisie. So I saw young children who had caught a rat and they were about to roast it.
That's disgusting. Do they take the fur off? Like, how do they even do that? That does not look like a rat.
It looks
like a dog.
Here, I thought that was a shield.
And the Okusie dying.
Do you eat rat?
Mirena. I mean, oh, Manka, Mama says, Bebaha, and Bebaha, to say, when so to say, Abe, Manka, Abe. Why not to me, Cherami baby, Abe no? Abe.
Yes, we call.
There be from such them. Abe. No, Abedria. It's Abe. Fe.
A baby rabbit.
Martin, we didn't hear for Casa this year. Fe. To say Brofocasa freedom, and I say chi, if ye, I said, you're saying, and if ye, wait, chi, if ye, After the ge. They say Profocasa gate and I say P. Agro. Agro, I said to the same. I feel hey. They say Profocasa hope and I say P. Ohene, I said to the same. Mo, my idea. E no bahasi. If you
we're riding this.
oh is you
I guess I'll just start with you have to go all the way up. You want me to ride it?
It's Abibifahodie.
Who else has wrote it? Let me see your paper.
Okay, well, everybody's looking at this. I'll just.
When it's on go.
Can you scroll up?
Ohene.
Can you
Yeah,
scroll up to A?
we'll go back. Ohene,
Ohene.
I said to the same.
King.
Ohene, I said to the same.
King.
And then
I
Ohene.
just said king.
Mayanka E. Mauvi. E. Chi. E. They say Profocasa beat and I say chi. Isie. Ya dang. Mo. Na nokre tintin a wo no I am 40. Na wo. So the big ones are actually made by termites. Now so bimu omo freno anthill. So some refer to it as an anthill, but they're actually the big ones are actually made by termites. So the proper term is termite mound. Isie. Wosha me na me waha. So if you look, that's me beside this termite mound.
That's big.
K.
Like a tiny.
Yeah, like a midget.
To say, Profocasa cake and I say chi. Akuko. I say chile sign.
Chicken.
Annie. Now where's ya?
How do you say termite name?
It's ACA. I feel that all over now, so now I so the letter O is there in borrowed words, but it's not indigenous to G. And you'll find it in words like obolo. I didn't have obolo. You're good, a fat person. But that's not an indigenous word from G. So when you see the O in here, you know that it's not a G word. It's also in words like lorry, which is just the word lorry in English. Now someone can say lorry. Oh, not me. Now so you kind of from. So it's not indigenously in G, but now it's recognized because of coming up in these borrowed words. To say maroon. And I say to say mako. Mako ya diyan. Mako ya diyan. And to say Profocasa never. And I say chi. Nana. Nana, I say chile saying. Aye. And the area mentioned to say, and yeah, Nana. So also remember that's not pronounced Nana, Yeah, Nana. Nana. If you share Nana, essentially say grandparent and not say grandchild. So if you look, you'll recognize that it's both grandparent and grandchild. And you won't know for Nana. So you'll refer to her as my Nana. And also before Nana. And she'll also refer to you as Nana. Now, so why would that be the case? Why not between me and me? Why for that? Why for that?
Can you please go back to K?
It's pink.
Akoko. Akoko. Akoko.
I'm confused. You have to write it in alphabetical order, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's L, M, N. They're in the L, M.
So what I was explaining is that O is in borrowed words, that indigenously it was not there, but now it's recognized by many as being part because it's in words like lorry, like obolo.
Can I see L, please?
Oh,
So does that mean that before Laurie and Obolo they didn't have a word for fat?
no, they did. So Nielsen, so a person who is fat. Nielsen. Alright.
They didn't have a word for Laurie.
That's shame. So there are words for all of these things, but when you have a colonial type of education, it teaches you that your own indigenous words are not as good as using Eurasian words. So especially, words like lorry. If you listen to the radio in Chi, you'll find that 50% of what they're saying is English words. You. It's my end, so let's continue. And now we say, Nana, I didn't think I grandparent and grandchild. So why is Nana both grandparent and grandchild? I don't know.
Does it have something to do with the how you can have your name like Nana Yao?
Yeah, something to do with how you can have a name like Nana Yao. Nana Ma, Nana Kofi, Nana Kwame. Nana Bina.
You can go up. I'll try to see.
Hey! Mama, yeah, Juma, oh, yeah. Oh, Mama. Oh, yeah. Oh!
Your
Oh.
thing's hot.
Wait, where were we?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. What's after these?
Auntie, Mama Chram. So let me show you. Nipa doesn't need to say Oria.
What is I?
Nipa doesn't need to say Oria that the human being is like the sun. Awo na eye Oria pie. So your birth is like the sunrise. Nti wona wo ha awo. Afi de ye wo original. Then you have the noon time. No yeah, bra wudru impenimbra so. This is when you become an adult. Aho na wo bo akokora na say brewa. No yeah atoye. So at this point this is the sunset. Now afi ye wo odesium. And then you also have midnight. Nti ye wo a nti asem me person me bisa mo say ori ato a any hobby mana. So the question is, when the sun sets, does it stop existing?
No.
And that's all. Ampa. Are you sure?
Yes, it doesn't.
And so, but you don't see it.
That doesn't mean that it's there.
And it's sana before see and so nipa. This is how African people also see the human being. And see now your son will for fra, you be fra. Nana Kwame. So when you're born again, they'll still have the title Nana that you had last time as Nana Kwame, Nana Ama, Nana Jua, and many others. Nana Kwabena. Nafi, oh no, na bo akokra. But the one who is here, ono na obeshe nankaze ne nanansu. So the one who is an old man will be the one who would recognize his own grandparent when they come back in reincarnation. Until ono na obeto ne nananedin. So this is the one who gives a name to the one who has come back. What I say? You understand? Enti ono na ombefre no nana. Enti se owu a ono so osambedru ha. Ono so obesa abonibra. And they will eventually change places. So the one who is passing on will eventually come back to this stage where they're about to be reborn. The one who is just born will eventually get to this stage where they'll become an old person. And the ono so na obeto ne nana nedin. So this one will also be the one to name this one. Everybody say ono na obeshenunso, because this is the one who had recognized his own grandparent from when he was a child.
But now people like think that when you die you become a ghost.
Right.
Is there something to it?
Maybe so I'll come back to that. So Chief's question is, people think that when you die you become a ghost. Yo. Yo, Bibi I from Osamang. So there's what's called Osamang. Na and they say Wusunsum Uwa Wusunsum and also na Ebedane Osamang. So the thought in Akan culture is that when a person passes on, that they become what's called Osamang, and you would translate that as a spirit. You see, it's out Osamang Ebeko Nejefi. They say that Osamang goes to the father's house, now transet Yebesan would Fufro, and it waits to be reincarnated at that house. So all of that is part of the idea here. Now you know they say anontina yefre we banana went to for we banana. But all of this is just to say this is the reason why you have the same word for nana as both your grandparent and for your grandchild. If they say omo in kitahua edaumuntam because they have a relationship between each other. What that's here? You. And Tiafi, my share. O. What's over about? O to say Osio. Osio you're dying. Osio you're dying.
Rain.
Annie.
So like NCO.
Auntie, Chi, somebody said you ask it again.
I said that. So there's like a connection because water is NCO and rain is OCO.
Annie. Nadia, a war honor. And that what's over there. And also, yeah. Osio. Asio. Ewe. Asio. Yeah, what no? Yeah, Asio.
Wait, where's the ASIO?
Or H.O. Nantiako. We can walk over there later.
Yeah, you went to W.
Hey! I say, no, yeah, Asio. I feel there, I sent for a Fofro. Asio. Asio, you're dying.
If there's no O in chief, then how come there's O all in? There is no O in chief. I thought you said O wasn't a part of chief.
No, all is part of indigenous words.
O,
Oh. You were thinking about the O's, I was talking about the O. Is you, you're dying. So who wants to guess? It didn't is you.
ACO is what?
Enti ya say Osio, rain. Nsio.
That's what we drink.
There, there.
Encio is what means rain. Ocio.
Okay.
Is there ocio?
So we need to know what
So they're
asio
just
and
changing the first letter.
So rain, water.
How do you say C?
Uno.
That is different.
C as in C.
No, like the water.
That's apple.
But there's salt in there.
Apple.
It's not good.
It's
It's
not one of these, not asio or esio.
Salt
You
water.
got it.
That's salt.
so what's the river or ocean?
So river is different from ocean. You ask two different questions and neither of them.
Okay, what's the river?
Asio.
Huh?
Ocean.
Apple.
So sea and ocean is just out of part of the water.
Because it's salt water.
And if you want to deal with it as
You have
personified,
fresh
it's
water.
also called Epo Abena. Epo Abena. So that means it has Banada as its sacred day.
We got rain, water.
That's you. After the Akawi, so remaining just this one. Is you.
Bath,
Is what?
bathe or bath.
Rain is A or E.
Rain is O.
Oh,
Osio. Nsio.
Asio
Nti Nsio. Asio.
River.
Yeah, what no.
So esio was
and river.
Nti aka Isio.
Oh, lake.
I know you
Is
Asio.
it all the same?
Lake is
River,
Asio
lake,
Tadia.
Pond.
Asio Tadia.
Pond. Pond.
Stream.
Pond.
Does it still have the seal at the
Tadia.
end?
So to make it a lake, Asio Tadia. Asio
That's a lake.
Tadia. Asio Tadia.
Okay. So it's not a pond.
white.
There's no stream.
I know you Asuwa.
Pond.
Asuwa. Now to your chain way is you.
Salt water.
Is you, David.
Bottled water.
Wait,
Bottled
say it
water.
again.
Is you.
It's river.
No, you're Puano. David. No, apple.
Esio is rain. Asio.
Pond.
Oh,
Osio.
I know you're Osio.
So esio is something wet.
Is you.
something with water. What if it's not water at all?
Huh?
Blood.
No, you're Moja.
It's
Is
a
something
liquid, right?
Is it something liquid?
Would you know who I
Tears?
if you think about it, then you could think about that's Anisio. That's eye water. It's tears. Anisio. Anisio.
Spit.
I know you're
It's
Untesio.
water. It's tears.
That's Untesio.
Is it fog?
David.
It's
No,
tears.
you're apple.
Crying.
David.
Oh, it's not?
Esio
Oh, you got it wrong.
No, Anisio. Anisio. That's eye water. Anisio is still. Anisio.
Sweat, spit,
I know you're Fifre. I know you're Untesio. David. I know you're Fia.
leak,
I know you're Asua.
leak.
Flood.
I know you're Asutadia.
Flood.
Blood is a good one.
I know you're into Yiri. Mimwamo, should I help you?
Yeah.
Yes, give us a hint. Don't tell
Okay, I'll give you a hint. Somebody here in the class has this, the translation of this as their name.
No.
Essence.
She said, what if it's not something wet? It's you.
Wait, that doesn't make any sense.
Jennifer? So think about it.
Wait, what is essence on?
Essence means kind of like the meaning of stuff.
Or the main ingredient, the essence, the thing that something is made up of. So SEO, the most important ingredient.
Drizzling.
Wait, so this has to be an ingredient of water? Is it H2O? Oxygen, hydrogen?
Well, you just said H2O.
So, but that's the same thing together.
It's essence.
Essence. That doesn't make any sense.
Esio means essence?
No.
So you have to start thinking about the meaning of your name.
I know the
And
meaning
think
of
about,
my name.
Your name has a lot of meanings.
Auntie, Gina home. So think about it. You who said SU or her? You who said SU or her? So we know that SU is there. That's flowing water, water on the groundwater, we can say in general. And SU, that's any water in small enough amounts to be handled by a human being. Until Abia ya denom, so maybe it's what you're using to drink. Abia ya dry, maybe it's what you're using to bathe. Abia.
Is it my name because of water like does a
I
lot?
can
It's a
explain.
part of
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah, like it helps give
Yeah.
life to the plants and
people.
So in what context would you use SU?
It's you. What me can say? Wusu ne wobang. Yeah. You can say your essence and your form are good. And the word for character is a combination of the word isu, which is essence, and then ebang, which is form. So the word for someone's character is subang. Subang.
Wait, we learned that
Sesa subang. So when you were saying Sesa subang, you were already saying this word.
transform your character.
Yeah. And see, isu e there a wom, ebang e there a wohon. So isu is that which is internal part of it. A bang is that which is the external, the form of it. Together, you know, boom. It was subang.
Can I go use some?
All those put together, you're subang. I feel they're drinking here in Sioux City. Kwako, bra. Fabra.
Is that his? That stuff is very sweet.
Very toxic from all the stuff in it.
And carry somebody else's germs you don't know.
I think Quakers have strong immune systems because my brother eat flowers, all kinds of stuff, and he doesn't get sick. Never. He only got a fever.
I go. And Timondrian Senia in Sioux City. So think about the properties of water. It's me here. It's me down at the forefront. So when you think about the properties of water, you'll realize that it can spill, it can pour, it can transform into something else. And Tibraya Kase Nipa Siu. So you're talking about a human being's essence. Would you say a idea to me? One aspect of it is you can think about a son that can transform. I think the idea also a son that's a part, an essential element of them. But if I say essential, you're saying an essential. It's you now, so the word is you is even in that. Mine kind of simple, so let's not belabor the point now. So my person would home, but I want you to think about it. Everybody said, you know, what who said, you know, what fire by back. So what I want you to think about is how all those words have a similar etymology, a similar origin. I feel I did not kind album, and also I want you to think about what links all of those concepts together. Rainwater, Usio, SU, groundwater, flowing water generally. Insio, the nom, and I said the dry. The one that's used to drink, the one that's used to bathe, that's handled by humans, that's insio. I feel the isio, that's essence. What to me who in Kitahua Edantemwa, I could say, what to me who Abibifahodie. So if you can understand what links all of those concepts together, you're starting to understand African thought, African philosophy. And what because it's built into the language. And my twasso. O. 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 Does it P? Alabama. Alabama. What we say Yanka. You'll notice that the R here is silent. When so a into Alabama. 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 Alabama ya diang. Alabama ya wine. Alabama.
Male. Male/name.
Please do not slash the mailman.
I will.
You.
M-A-L-E, not M-A-I.
Aye. It's Alabama. Alabama. It's me, Alabama. Mawu, Alabama. Chi America, Alabama. Kwaku, Alabama. It's my interest. P. Man can P.
P.
Is it Brofocasa Pace and I Chi Mpuano? It's the Munche, we ano.
Lip.
Ano.
But this is beach.
Annie. Yeah, cool.
Pictures are basically just traveling.
Annie. So the mouth of the ocean. Mpuano. I can't Mpuano. I feel we na what you Jim, you know. And also if you look, this one also has two different sounds. In between I hear O. I feel there between I hear O. 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 They said yeah you want the dano. So as we saw before, akuko. Sa we a O. Yeah, akoko. There be a akoko. Akoko. Afi empuano. Sa we. And yeah, empuano. Ago. Osha. And yeah, empuano. There be. Hey, empuano. Hey, we. Oh. Empuano. What I say? What I say? You understand? One to us. Abrobe. Now let me say, one who be what we wanted that. So I think you've seen a part of this word before. Yeah. Bo. I will throw your home BB. I will wait more than that. So in the same list we saw something that's in this word already. Hanokai, who remembers?
Was it the first one?
Yeah, I know you have BB mine.
Was it an I?
Yeah,
What?
Hey, BBI is the
Oh, was it male?
Nope, it's something that's standing over there.
Abidjan.
Palm tree.
Be is from the same abe. Dibre kase abrobe. You're saying a foreign version of abe. And the abe now had that. So the palm tree was here already. Abrobe, and no ya abrofo de buy. So Abrobe is what the Europeans brought here. And in front abrobe, so a foreign abe, a foreign version of the abe. So abe, no. So listen.
They brought the
You was greeting folks. Oh yeah. Oh, who brought the palm tree?
And texting my Kyla. I'm doing a lot of things, so I missed that whole.
They brought the pineapple.
And the abe now had that. So the abe was already here. It's a bra omode abrobe ba no your friend eya abrobe. So it's a foreign palm tree, a foreign version of what abe is already here, which is pineapple. From South America. So it's indigenous to South America.
But do they grow it here?
So there are many words that are here that are like that.
You in America, pineapples are yellow, and here they're white. How did they get yellow?
But there are different variations on it.
See, it's because there's some fruits that you can grow inside America because there's cold weather, like grapes, or some other fruits. Pineapples,
They come. So you find them in South America. They're indigenous to South America.
Pineapples are born in, they're made in like places with a lot of sunlight, which will make them sweeter.
Alright. What was that? So there are different types, there are different strains of pineapples. So the one that was here first was the yellow type, and they referred to that one as the local one. Even though none of it is indigenous to here, they refer to that one as the local one.
So they have a yellow type?
And so the one that has the white inside, they refer to that as the fancy type. And they said that's the one that's the more recent one to be brought here. And so you can go to the market and say, oh, I want the local one, and they'll bring you the yellow one that you're used to. And so, and yet, to say it, but it's not as sweet as the one that has the white inside. Now, so what I was saying is that you see lots of words that are like this.
They have bra in front of it.
Alright.
Bra.
Alright. Odia. I didn't know odia. Does anyone know what odia is?
Oh my God.
I didn't know odia. Odia. She doesn't think that she remembers. Every said, and the reason is because we don't often use this word. Yefreno, as in for fufro, that we call it by another name more commonly now. Bayere. I didn't know bayere. Indeed, should I say mom? Nadine, they say one brother for Casamo.
Is it okra?
Yam.
Oh.
It's the odia, yam. After that, Bardia. Why no, Kai? Who remembers that?
Bodia is yam.
There. Odia by itself is yam. Mo. Why odia? Why odia? Why odia?
I can see the palm tree and the pineapple, but again, and the plantain don't really alike.
Wait, but it's the same word as pineapple too. So it's like they're all together.
So odia by itself is yam. Bodia is plantain. From Southeastern Asia.
Plantain and
Originally.
Wait, so plantain is
Plantain is not indigenous to
So
Africa.
is yam?
Yam is. So this is how you can tell. If you say, Abraham, my friend, or dear, no, yeah, so when we talk about Audia, we're saying that this is something that's indigenous. But like I said, Audia, we're saying a foreign version of what we have already. So a foreigner's yam.
I would think a foreigner's yam would be potato.
You would think so. I know you're Abrojuma. So there's another tuber, another juma, so Abrojuma. That's potato. Afe efre. Efre. Efre is a word for melon. Melon. And then anamuna. Anamuna. So watermelon, the name of watermelon is anamuna. And the Hebraic I say bofre.
So will watermelon be insio efre?
That's just what she said, but no. She is not based on the way English works. They didn't say let's look in the English dictionary and translate everything word for word. So bofre. And what fruit do you think this is? I've given you a hint already.
Watermelon? Honeydew? Honeydew?
It's gotta be something related to plantain.
Potato.
Banana.
No, it's a melon, right?
A melon.
Cantaloupe?
What'd you say? What'd you say?
Papaya. It has a weird taste.
Papaya's delicious.
So pawpaw, or as you may know it, papaya.
I don't care what
Bofre.
people say. Papaya's delicious.
Ah.
It has a weird taste. It's nasty. But it has a different taste.
And see, I know that Kweku di, so that's what Kweku was eating. Now, a bofre, I free your food. And that was a papaya that's from our farm up in Abosomasi.
You have a farm?
We do now.
In your house?
No, at Abosomasi.
Is this at the school farm or your farm?
Does that mean do you want to be eating from my...
No, I was asking because you said we have now.
Aye. Now, we'll be such a walk on be. So you're asking, do you want to know if you are part of the week? You ever come once and we'll discuss the term.
I want to know too.
Terms and regulations.
What are
And
you're
see,
growing
You're
growing pawpaw actually.
and see, I don't know idea on pay, so that's what we ate this morning. And then I did baudia. Yesterday we had baudia. And also a free food. So yesterday we had some plantain that was also from our farm.
So you imported seeds from South.
Maybe I had the dada. No, the seeds have been here for a long, long time. A brother said, I brought from the buy on patch of the and fear I had no hasa. So when they're talking about things that Europeans brought, they're talking about 200 and 300 years ago. So that's what we're but that's recorded in the language itself. If it is in the Dina, because the name itself tells you that. What's that here?
Wait, so it's potato indigenous here?
Debbie, and Tina from Abro, Juma. Bro. And Juma na ewaha. So this is a tuber, and this is Abro Juma. So our foreigners, and that's how you get to potato. Now, so and yet Yamini na and Friha na Yenasa. But it's not every single thing that's not indigenous to here that has this marker in front of it. And see, what would be to say? Banchin. Because there's something like cassava, that's banchin. Bakubra. Hey!
There'd be all kind of ants and stuff in there to get you. Come on out.
Bakubra.
He's excited.
Well, phew.
No, he put his leg inside.
Mombra, Chibra, Mama Bra.
disturbing.
What?
Umra.
Get a leg full of anthrax.
Ago. 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 So as I was saying, and yeah, Yamani na em free Ghana na yede bro, and I say abro, na I say enimono. It's not everything that's not from here that has the prefix bro or abro to let you know that it's not indigenous. And Shaswabi aya banche. So an example of that is banche. Banche. Banche again. What is banche?
Cassava.
Cassava. And also in free Abibifahodie, that's also not indigenous to Africa. Cassava.
Sweet yam. It's sweet yam.
The long brown one that's like
Yeah, friend, baby, if you buy normal from manioc. So the place where it comes from, they call it manioc.
You can make fufu in it.
Aye.
Make fufu.
What they have fufu, what they want fufu. So they use it in order to pound fufu. That's banche. And also in free now, so in front of abro banche. So it does, but it doesn't have the abro in front of it to let you know. And yeah, bro, chile. Yeah, so no.
such a staple. Those things such a staple that they probably would
I feel we'll be some pa. So now you've asked a good question. Who person will hold your idea and son of Brofabano? Just say what them. So if you want to see the foods that we were eating before Europeans came, you should go to the north. Everybody say yeah, that's what they or there because there yam is still the main staple. I'm on fat banche, anybody and wolf. So they don't pound fufu using cassava and plantain in the north. Omode or there, they use yam in order to pound it. After there, efre, there freno agushi, and I say akatiwa. So the seeds that come from efre, which are called akatiwa, that's also known as agushi, but that's coming from Yoruba. Egusi. So it's from the inside of the melons, right? And see, and also near one. And see, Nyani atoko. So millet, sorghum, all of those were indigenous foods. And see, we call baby to say, Esrem, Ghana was Esrem. So you go to northern Ghana, we call Burkina, we call Malia, a Hona, we will home, Abibifahodie. So if you go to northern Ghana, to Burkina, to Mali, that's where you start to see African foods. Just unless you go to the north of Togo too. Baby, I bam puano, namudi abrofan miane. So any place that's close to the ocean, they eat European food. And then Abibifahodie. So these are European foods that, or let's not say Europeans, it was stolen from one place by Europeans because they had no association with plantain or any of these things. Right, they had cabbage, potatoes, or whatever they had. But yeah, so the point is, so in short, so people who were Wadiane, they say Wakosrem, and I think Yamati saying Kuntumri, also indigenous. You know, you have Kuntumri, you have different types of tubers. Amankani, Yamapi.
Oh my goodness, Kuntumbre is from here?
Yeah.
It is?
Kuntumri. Yeah. So it's from Mankani, which is called cocoyam. So let's continue. That was a bit of a sidebar, but I hope it was informative.
You already wasted like 30 minutes.
That's not wasted, that's informative.
I like
Yeah,
learning about
10,
food.
15.
I like that.
What was it? It's you, dear, or Padiane. You see essence. And say, oh, my friend, it's you. So I've been calling you it's you, and that's the reason why. So I was thinking you would be the one to pick up on it because sometimes I'll say, hey, it's you. Because what I'm saying is essence, but I'm saying NG. You go. And you say. Mayanka, say. They say, bro, because so, and I say, chi, sika. Sika at the end.
Money.
Aden, why be that?
In ancient Ghana, instead of using paper bills, they used gold dust. And to buy stuff, they would weigh it on a
Yeah. Mo. My idea. Who's your side? Did you just learn that at African Studies? Or did you know that already? Mo. My idea. Chi emeka. Chi emeka. Chi emeka. Money, y'all.
I get it wrong.
You learned that at the thingy?
I feel it. T. Te provocaça take. Nasce chi. Otuo. Otuo, you're dying.
A guy.
No, I had, yeah. Ooh. There's a chi. A drew. I feel the woman say, children say, so that same word is also written like this. A drew. This is more common in Asante Chi. This is more common in Ekwapim Chi. A drew, you're dying. Now, Kanano, a drew ni na hahama. So, at first, the only type of medicine were the herbs, the leaves that you see around.
Neem.
Bibisa. There's a body. There's a like many of the other that we have around.
So what is that in your hand?
That's a pointer.
Aya hahama. Where ahama, your friend a champon. It's a specific plant called a champon. Now, say Abia bibi chow na utu moja. And if something cuts you and you're and you're bleeding, which means they say a champon. Now, we didn't stew, and I say, test you kakra. Now, posa, now fedia, would they go more? Now fedia, a betra. So that's specific. You can. So this one called a champon, if you're bleeding profusely, that this can be used to clot and stop the bleeding. So all of these are different types of medicines that are around. Now, if you send you a so, but however, since pharmaceuticals have come, Eurasian medicine, now they refer to what was just a drew as now Abibidro. Abibidro. What do you think Abibidro is? Fancy. Pat. Go. Fine fun. Yeah, that's. So a few. And the after there. We. There's a provocative word and I say chi. Riase. I said chile sign. Annie. Riase.
Oh, wait.
Drew.
You went back to
There's no X, Y, Z. Oh, there's a.
There's
Y.
no Z.
There's no Z, there's no X.
Yep.
Did you notice what there's no C?
C. Oh. We need to go back to the beginning.
Bago, you're off.
I started at A.
Bago ka. We. Bago ka. We.
Have you read the Hunger
Bago. We.
Red.
Bago ka. We.
Yeah,
I didn't know they had a
Ati.
book.
in Hunger Games, the book,
Riase.
the main character gets cut and then
Ka. Riase.
Hunger Games is scary.
After there, yeah. To say, but of yes. And I said, chi or ye wine.
Or you wine.